Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
Hey, good. How are you?
Doing great. I have to start this by saying I'm rewatching all of The Walking Dead, and I was watching it all day yesterday, and then I put this movie on, and it was a bit of a like, great, I'm just continuing this vibe of being in an apocalypse when humans trying to exist. So
Yeah.
you guys, you're kind of dealing with so many genres all at once in a movie like this. What was the excitement for you guys to still have that human side of this story with everything else kind of going on?
Um, the it was fun to we did a lot of fight scenes and running and driving that little car that my character created and a lot of that it's all fun. It's fun to choreograph fights too. It's a bit of a dance, but too much of that can be quite exhausting.
Hmm.
So it was nice to, I mean, from purely technical standpoint of what we're doing day to day, it was nice to have for it to be focused around the drama of this family.
Yeah. It was I really took to the script at first because I liked how much of a coming of age story it was. Not a whole lot of blending that into the genre sometimes. So I really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, and Maxwell, you get to be in this creepy cave scene that I was instantly like, nope, I don't like those guys at all.
Yeah.
But when you get to also play with horror in that way and have the like, creepy hand appear or like see something in the shadow, what for you was the I don't want to say exciting part again, but like the fun of that cave scene in particular and really selling that part to the audience.
Yeah, that cave scene was yeah, the lights. Yeah. Yeah, there was a whole lot of technical stuff with it that you had to be thinking about all the time. We kind of choreographed it because it's a tight space and you're in there with a handheld camera and
That was the last day, wasn't it?
we filmed it a bunch of different days. Yeah, we spent a lot of time in the cave, to be honest. I mean, I think the last week of shooting we were in studio. Everything else was out in on location. But yeah, it was super technical. So there's a lot to think about between like when to hit the light because that's really the only light source that we had in the cave.
Mhm.
We wanted it to be really dark. So you're kind of lighting the scene at the same time as you're trying to navigate this terrain and yeah, I that was really fun to work on. Also, we just spent so much time in that cave that you kind of got lost in it, like it was a maze. You really did just kind of forget where you were at sometimes and get disoriented. And I tried to stay in that cave as much as possible while filming it, because it really added to it. And obviously, being stuck in a cave for a few days with Nic Cage is not a bad deal at all. A lot in there. So yeah, it was really just a great overall experience. And I got to learn a lot from Nick about finding the human moments in all that action stuff. Because there isn't a lot of downtime in there, but he really was able to help find it.
Yeah, and Jaeden, I don't want to call him a little freak, but he kind of is. And I love him so much. But when that cage drops and he catches one of those things, he's like, on. And it's so creepy teenager that I love him. I was like, go off, King, do whatever you need. But when you get to, be that kind of character in one of these movies that is like, you're like, what is he planning? But also, like, I kind of get it. Like, you kind of need to have a character who is interested in this in whatever way possible. Do you have a specific kind of approach to characters like that? Or like, are you just kind of like, well, it's on the page, I'm doing what is written?
I mean, that's so funny because I never saw it that way. I thought for a second there's a scene where he's doing a bit of he's doing an autopsy on the dead monster.
Uh,
And I was like, it was like really fun for me. There's just, it's like guts and all this fake plastic shit. And like, I was like, oh, wait, I should be totally grossed out. What, or is my character this fucking apathetic monster? I don't know. But so we like played around with that. So it's funny that you kind of saw that he's a little bit. I just think I think he's just highly logical. I think he's so smart. I kind of relate to that where it's less about the emotion of things, but thinking things through. That's how I see it.
I'm now gonna picture him as the Spock of this movie. Like he's just like
Exactly.
logically,
Yeah.
logically, this is to be this, and this. For my last question, I'm a big old Nic Cage fan. I love him to the ends of this earth. I can only imagine how cool it is to be playing his sons. Like that would just be like a dream to be like, yeah, I'm Nic Cage's kid. But did you guys ever have that moment where you're like, man, this is like a legend. Like I'm working with a guy whose filmography is legendary for a number of reasons.
Pretty much every moment with them.
For sure.
You just remember things. Oh shit. Oh, Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I love Ghost Rider. Dude, now I'm like thinking of leaving Las Vegas and
Yeah.
raising Arizona, and then there's like a million classics too that I grew up on.
Yeah.
And he's just like a part of all of us. He's
Yeah.
a part of all of our upbringings. So you don't really get over that, I don't think.
And he's still doing really, really cool stuff. Like even like right before I went and filmed it, I watched Pig, and then I went and watched The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and just like the fact that he did those two kind of relatively close together at the time, it was just really crazy to me. But yeah, I mean, every day with him had its incredible moments, but I think like probably the two highlights are the first scene we filmed when I'm running back late, and he totally just like gave that line 110% energy, which is not how I read it at all, and added so much to the "you're late." And then the "Are We Not Men" thing. That was like a moment for his own childhood. Like he mentioned that that's what his family would do when they get into disagreements. So he adding that personal element to it really changed a lot in that scene for the better.
Yeah. I met him once and I had on my I have a Face Off shirt that says John Travolta but has Nic Cage's face on it. And he goes, how many people don't get that shirt? And I was like, you'd be so surprised. And so that was my like, great, I don't have to ever exist anymore. And Nic Cage liked my Face Off t-shirt.
That's cool.
But thank you guys so much for talking with me. I think this is such a cool kind of horror movie and sci-fi movie, and I can't wait for people to get to see it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, have a great one.